We are back with a brand new video. What is good, you guys? In today's video, we're going to be recapping and talking about the ESPN's updated mock draft that just released a couple of days ago. Shout out to Jonathan Givoni for making this article. Shout out to Woj for actually retweeting it, because that's how I found it. I found it on Twitter through Woj. I don't know why I just butchered that name so bad, but yeah, we're gonna be talking about the top prospects in this next year's class, as we always do on this channel. And you guys seem to love these type of videos where I just chop it up about college basketball and what my thoughts are about a lot of these prospects. So I'm going to be doing that in today's video. Obviously, make sure you guys drop a like, stick around till the end, leave a comment on the channel, on the video, as to what you guys think about my thoughts and what you guys think about the mock draft itself. And give me any video suggestions you guys have. You know what I'm saying? Like anything you guys want me to do, I'm all for it. Leave a subscribe or a follow. And yeah, we are very close to 200 subs, man. You guys have been killing it for the past couple of videos, so shout out to you guys. On the road to 1,000, obviously, but even past that, we're just on the road to wherever it takes us. We're not going to stop anytime soon, so you guys can believe that. But we can get right into it with the first round. Let me scroll down real quick, and yeah, we are in the first round right now. The Detroit Pistons are on the clock, and Jonathan Givoni has them selecting Victor Wembanyama. Very self-explanatory pick. I'm not going to spend too much time on the player. We all know he's the consensus #1. We know like the skill set he brings. But as far as the fit, I'm just going to talk about what I see with Detroit. I think this is a very good fit for Detroit, because Detroit is a team right now, their center position is okay. Like Jalen Duren is a very good building block. Isaiah Stewart is all right. Like, I think that Victor Wembanyama would obviously be like a 10 times better prospect than both of them, just because he's like generational. So you would just start him, probably move Jalen Duren to the bench, maybe Isaiah Stewart to the 4, Bagley. One of these guys would play the 4. And yeah, I think the fit would be really nice, because Cade is a guy that can get him the ball. He can be a lob threat for Cade. He can also be a pick and pop threat for Cade and Ivy. Ivy can also drive in and spoon feed him because of his explosiveness at the rim. Sadiq Bey is a 3-and-D player. It's a very, very exciting team with Victor Wembanyama. I'm super, super excited to see whoever gets him is going to get a really special talent, as long as he stays healthy. Houston at 2, Scoot Henderson. Again, same thing. Like, I don't have to spend too much time on the player, but as far as like the fit, this would probably move KPJ to the bench unit, which I think is like this is a perfect role for KPJ. Like, just being a sixth man. I think that's his best attribute, is just his ability to score the ball. He'd probably win Sixth Man of the Year a couple of times if he was a sixth man, because he's just very talented. But Scoot Henderson's more of a pure point guard. He can score at 3 levels. He can play make. Like, he's got it all. And if it was not for Victor Wembanyama, he would be the #1 prospect by far. But after them too, like, there's clearly a huge gap between everybody else. They got the Spurs selecting Amen Thompson. I like that pick. I think Amen Thompson is a very, very good player. Obviously, like in my mock draft, I had him a little bit lower, like 4, 5, 6 range. But like, he's been the consensus 3 for a lot of people. So you can't be mad at it. And I think San Antonio is a very good fit, because he would be their point guard of the future. And you can pair him alongside defensive-minded wings like obviously Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, even Jeremy Sohan. They just drafted Malachi Branham last year and Blake Wesley. Both of them are not really getting too many minutes, so I think like next year you're probably going to see them get more minutes. Trey Jones can move to the bench. Like, it's going to be a nice, fun team to watch. They still lack a center, like, for the future. I don't know if Jakob Poeltl is that guy. I'm pretty sure he's been on the trade block this season, because I'm pretty sure he might be a free agent at the end of the year, but I might be wrong. But they still have to fix that. But apart from that, this is a very fun team to watch for the future. Charlotte at 4. Apparently their pick goes to Atlanta if it's 17 through 30. We'll keep an eye on that, but I doubt that's going to happen with how Charlotte's been playing. Nick Smith Jr. at 4, I think, is a very good pick, man. I think I'm super high on Nick Smith. I had him at 3 in my mock draft a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, he's a really good player. Like, I just really like his ability to play both on and off the ball. I think that backcourt would be really nice for the future. Like, you have a solidified backcourt of him and LaMelo. Charlotte doesn't really have too many exciting pieces apart from LaMelo. Like, the whole Miles Bridges situation there's still like a big cloud over that. And then obviously, Oubre's been playing well this season, but I don't know like how much he's part of your future. Same with Gordon Hayward. Like, Gordon Hayward is definitely probably going to get traded soon. And then the center position is just god awful, because Mark Williams is not really getting any minutes. And apart from Nick Richards, who's taken a pretty nice step this season, I just don't know if he's the center of the future either. So yeah, they don't really have much apart from Melo, but you could pair alongside Nick Smith Jr. in the backcourt with him. Probably ship off Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward to a team that can give you some more young pieces for you to, accelerate your rebuild. But it's a good fit. I think he's the best player available, so I would like that a lot for Charlotte. Oklahoma City Thunder selecting Ausar Thompson, obviously the twin of Iman. For me, I think OKC should probably go with the front court player, just because I think they've gone with backcourt players and wings over like the past couple of years a lot. I just think they need to target that 4 position, and I think I would probably have him taking either Whitmore, Brandon Miller, Jarris Walker, like one of the 3. I would probably have him over Ausar, just because like not only do I believe that like guys like Whitmore, Brandon Miller, like these guys are like I think on the same level or maybe even better than Ausar Thompson. They also fit a positional need, which Ausar Thompson does not. So Ausar Thompson is going to be kind of tricky trying to play him because you already have Shea, Giddey, Lou Dort. Like, I don't know if you're moving Lou Dort to the bench. I don't know what's going on if you're playing Ausar Thompson at the 3. You have a lot of guards already. You drafted Jalen Williams. You drafted Trey Mann. You still have Ousmane Dieng, who's not really getting like amazing amount of minutes, but that 4 position is still very vacant right now. So I would like with Chet in the future, I would probably try to pair him alongside a nice 4 for the future as well. So I would probably move Ausar down to 6, which is like I'm seeing right now the Magic are 6. I think Ausar on the Magic would be really nice because Ausar is defensive minded, and I know Jamal Mosley, like the way he plays is very like he's a defensive minded coach as well, but Orlando also like requires to fill out some guards because I don't think their guards are as good as their like wings and bigs for the future, just because like I don't think Orlando should go with the front court player because what's it called? You already have Franz, you have Paolo, and you have Wendell Carter, who's been playing really well, if not for the injuries. Unless you have the chance to take Victor Wembanyama, I just don't think a front court player is necessary there. I think you should probably target like a guard. Ausar Thompson is a combo guard / wing. He can probably play the 2 there. I think I like that fit a lot more than Cam Whitmore, which is what they have Orlando going with. Anyway, they have him going with Cam Whitmore, but I think Ausar would be a better fit just because I don't know where you're gonna play Cam Whitmore if you draft him. Are you gonna play him at the 2? Because you have to accommodate both Franz and Paolo in the lineup. So unless you're sizing Paolo up to the 5, or unless you're sizing one of them down to the 2, I don't think it's gonna work because Franz and Paolo both have to start because they're just extremely good. Like they're your biggest building blocks for the future. So yeah, I would probably go with Ausar Thompson to the Magic and probably like flip that and probably go either Cam Whitmore, Brandon Miller, who's number 7 actually. Brandon Miller is number 7 to the Washington Wizards. I think that's a good fit. The Wizards again, like they don't really have. I think the Wizards are probably in one of the worst positions out of all teams, just because like they're not really like they don't really have a clear-cut direction to me. Like right now their team sucks. But like they still have guys on their team that are like, they have quality pieces like Beal and Porzingis and Kuzma, but their 3 best players are not young, and they are a team that's in the lottery. Like that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like when your 3 best players are players that are in their primes right now, and like when you're looking at Bradley Beal, maybe someone who's like, getting into his 30s. I'm not sure how old Bradley Beal is. I'm pretty sure he was drafted in like 2012 or 2013. So he must be getting up there like in the 30s. But when your 3 best players are, not young by any means, and you're in the lottery, especially with a top 10 pick, that's not good, because that means you don't really have anybody, who's really emerging. Johnny Davis has been a disappointment so far. Like he's probably been the worst rookie as far as like expectations go. Like for a top 10 pick, he's absolutely done nothing. It's not his fault, like fully. Like obviously some of it is, but like I'm not going to judge him based off of this one season. We've seen guys start off slow before. So hopefully they have him take another step. And obviously Rui and Denny, both like one of the 2 is going to have to step up, because both of them have been like solid, but like you're waiting for one of them to make a jump. The problem with the Wizards is that they've always picked very late in the lottery. So like they haven't really been able to get like one of the top guys, because every pick that they've had is like, like a 10th pick or 11th pick. Like Denny was like a 10th pick. Rui was like a 10th pick. Like those guys were still good, but like you weren't really able to get like the high potential guys because those guys were all off the board. So, but then again, you can make an argument that their development program has to do better. I don't know. They haven't really had like a star player on their team that they've developed since Bradley Beal and John Wall. Like Otto Porter was solid, but like apart from that, and he was a top 3 pick too, but apart from that, like, you know, Jan Vesley was a bust. I don't know if y'all remember that name, Jan Vesley. He was a 6th overall pick. And if you guys are wondering who that is, go look him up because he's not in the league anymore. I think he was out of the league in like 2 years. Corey Kispert, he's been okay. Same with like a lot of these players have been okay, like Denny, Rui, Corey Kispert. These guys have all been like okay. None of these guys have like shown much. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to but you have to hope that one of these guys like takes another step to become and progress into a very solid player. I'm super high on Rui. I think Rui can be really good. I just, you know, and like he was probably like my favorite player in that draft class. So I'm kind of like disappointed that he hasn't like taken the next leap yet. So I'm really hoping that he does soon because I'm just like I'm a huge fan of his game. But right now, like, and that was a little bit of a tangent, but right now Brandon Miller is a good pick for the Wizards. He's the best player available to me, and they just need to take the best player available. Like, if you're the Wizards, that's all you need to take. Pelicans, Jarris Walker, pretty good fit. Obviously, like, this is a team that's trying to win. Jarris Walker is a very winning player, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just does a lot of the little things, intangibles to help you win a game, and even like a lot of games, like, and even in the playoffs, like, he would be pretty valuable. Now, obviously, he wouldn't start, obviously, because you have B.I., Zion, Jonas Valanciunas. Like, he'd come off the bench, but still, he'd be a very good piece off the bench to just energize the team, give the team some boost if they need it. Like, he's just that type of player, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a winning player. Same with Cason Wallace at number 9 to Orlando. Cason Wallace is a very, very high IQ player. His defense is obviously elite, but his offense is, I think, underrated because whenever he's not on the floor, Kentucky seems to struggle a lot. His impact is very Marcus Smart-like, bro. Cason Wallace and Marcus Smart are actually very similar because I'm not comparing, like, I'm not saying they're the same player, but I'm just saying, like, they just remind me of each other. And, yeah, I mean, the Magic, if they went with, like, a Ausar Thompson at number 6, I mean, I guess, like, the reason they have him going with Cason Wallace here is because, you know, they had him going with the front court player at 6, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know if you would go with Ausar and Cason Wallace just because those are 2 guards, but at the same time, you can make an argument that, like, what other position do you go? Do you want to reach on a center and go like Khalil Ware? Like, that's pretty high for Khalil Ware, like the 9th overall pick. Cason Wallace is probably the best player available. I would probably argue Keontae George, but Cason Wallace, like, some people would say, is the best player available, so I guess it's not a bad pick, but for me, like, I already had him taking Ausar in like my remediation of this mock. So I don't know if Cason Wallace is the pick for them just because like that's like two guards. You already have like Fultz, Suggs, Cole Anthony. That's just a logjam. RJ Hampton, like, you got to figure all that out. But again, like, Orlando just has like a lot of people at every position anyway. So you can just make the argument that it's whatever best player available. So I get that too. At 10, wow, the Indiana Pacers. Jonathan Givony actually has something that I really like. I'm a huge fan of Jet Howard, man. I think Jet Howard's a stud. Now, he can't defend. That's the only problem. He can't defend, but on the offensive end, he can basically do everything. He can score from all 3 levels, and I think his playmaking is underrated. He's also an underrated rebounder as well. The Pacers, you could probably have like a lineup of obviously Tyrese at the 1, Jet Howard at the 2, Mathurin at the 3 for the future. That's a really nice lineup. You know, you got to trade Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield has to go. You know, he's been on the block for like, I don't know how long. Like the Lakers, someone has to just make a call for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. They're talking about extending Miles Turner. Don't do it, Indiana. Do not do it. Like, Miles Turner, just sell high right now, bro. He's playing extremely well. You're not going to get the value for him right now that you might get in like, because the thing about Miles Turner, if you extend Miles Turner and he starts playing badly, like you look like an idiot because it's like, bro, like, why did we just extend him? Because he doesn't fit your timeline or anything. He's already, 26, 27? So just get rid of Buddy and Miles and figure out what to do with that center position for the future. They also would, like, I wouldn't be upset if they drafted a center with their pick because, like, they desperately need a center. Like, because, like I said, Miles Turner is not part of the future, I don't think, unless they think he is, which, like, I would be heavily surprised if they thought that. I don't think Miles Turner is part of their future or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they took like a Khalil Ware, who I think is the best center available right now. But Jet Howard, I'm a huge fan of, so I like what Jonathan Givony did. Utah taking Keontae George can really improve their scoring. You know, Lowry has been pretty good, but they could still use some offense. Keontae George does that. He's the best scorer available. Probably the best, like, pure scorer in this draft. Anthony Black to Toronto. That's a very Toronto-type pick. He's a big point guard, does a lot of little things. Fred is probably going to get traded, to be honest. Like, I don't know how much longer Fred will be a Raptor. He hasn't been, like, amazing this season. He's been, like, on and off, and it's kind of been up and down. He's been very inconsistent. He hasn't been able to hit his shots. That's the only problem. So Anthony Black could be a replacement for the future. I mean, Fred is already, like, 28, 29, because he blossomed extremely late. Same with Siakam. So I think the Raptors just have to pick a direction, because they're also in a position where, like, they're not really rebuilding. And I think this team's expectations was to, like, be a top 4, top 5 seed. And they're not doing that right now. They're in the play-in. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough if you're Toronto. You got to figure out what to do, because obviously you want to figure out, you want to decide whether you want to cater towards, you know, Siakam and Fred's timeline, or, you know, focus more on the youth like Scotty, OGs, some of these, like, guys like Gary Trent Jr. They also got decisions to make. Golden State taking Khalil Ware is pretty interesting to me. Now, I don't know how, like, well Khalil Ware would fit in Golden State, like, because the thing about Golden State is that Golden State needs specific type of centers. Like, the thing, I think a lot of people were like, we all got fooled by them taking Wiseman. We were like, you know what? They just need a center. Wiseman's the best available. You can have him. He'll be good. Now, Wiseman, he's been playing better as of late, but, like, he's really struggled to adapt to that system, because Wiseman needs the ball in his hands. He wants to do a lot of different things. He's not elite defensively. Like, he's not gonna be able to stick to one role as well as some of their centers that they had, like JaVale McGee, Andrew Bogut, Ezeli, Zaza Pachulia. Like, a lot of these centers that they have were just okay with just sticking to one role. So I don't know if the Warriors should draft a center, because I don't really know if the center would be able to, like the center would be very limited in their system. Like, Khalil Ware is a guy that likes to shoot the ball. Sometimes he likes to bring the ball up the floor. He's a high usage player, so I don't know if he would really work in the Warriors system, but like, it's worth a shot, I guess. He is the best player available to me. Actually, no, he's the second best player available, because Gigi Jackson is still not being drafted. And Dariq Whitehead. Where's Dariq Whitehead? I just realized Dariq Whitehead is not gone. That is crazy. If you're the Warriors, you got to take Dariq Whitehead. Because, bro, Dariq Whitehead is the best player available here. He probably should have gone, like, top 10, to be honest. Like, a lot of people have been pretty low on Dariq Whitehead, and I think it's because of the injury. We'll get to Dariq Whitehead, though. Khalil Ware at 13, Kyle Filipowski at 14. Good pick for the Clippers. My Heat selecting Gigi Jackson. As a Heat fan, I'd be ecstatic if this happened. I don't think it will. I think Gigi Jackson's going to get drafted before this. He's the youngest player in the draft. He's a power forward. Like, he fits a lot of our needs. He's a Swiss Army knife. Reminds me of Jeremy Grant a lot. But yeah, I would love that if I'm Miami. And these last few picks, I'm just gonna zoom through. I'm not gonna spend too much time on them. Dylan Mitchell, Grady Dick to Portland. I like that shooting and defense. Yeah, Dariq Whitehead at 19 is crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know he just is coming off an injury, but, like, bro, like, he's gonna be fine towards the end of the season, because the thing about him is that his injury was something that he couldn't even, like, move for however long he had it. So it's going to take time for him to get back into basketball shape. He's not going to be the same player as he is going to be, like, in the future as he is right now. Like, right now he's playing okay, but, like, he's going to be extremely well polished, and he's going to get his legs underneath him. He's going to be back in basketball shape, and he's going to look a lot better. So that's crazy. 19, Dariq Whitehead at 19, Terquavion Smith at 20. I like. A very, very good score. Derek Lively at 22 to the Knicks. I like. Maxwell Lewis is a little low. I'm not gonna lie. I would have liked to see Maxwell Lewis a little higher. Pacers selecting my boy Coleman Hawkins. I'm looking for my Illini. Obviously, I go to Illinois. So Coleman Hawkins, Terrence Shannon Jr., WWW. Marcus Sasser, good pick for Detroit. Reese Beekman from Virginia. Jordan Hawkins at 40, Keontae Johnson, Julian Strother, Jordan Walsh, Imani Bates, Amari Bailey. Some nice names in this mock, bro. Nice names in this mock. Oscar Tshiebwe. Last two picks are Caleb Love and Zach Edey, college basketball legends. That's going to be the end, though, of me reacting to this ESPN mock. It was a good mock draft. I'm not going to lie. Jonathan Givony did make a lot of sense with a lot of these lottery picks. The only, like, questionable thing was, like, Dariq Whitehead, but you know, that's whatever. Like I can understand why people are low on him, but I just don't get it. We're gonna wrap it up there, bro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all later as always, man. Have a nice day. Peace.